Yo, Wagwan, hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Studio One 5. Now, this is going to be from the perspective of an artist because I personally only use Studio One 5 to record, mix, and master my songs. So it's kind of from the perspective of an engineer as well, but not from the perspective of a producer, because I produce all my tracks in FL Studio. Just needed to let you know that. But this video is going to give you some insight into whether Studio One 5 is worth it for you as an artist, worth it for recording your songs, mixing your songs, mastering your songs, all that sort of stuff. So definitely stay through to the end because I'm going to be sharing my experiences. I've been using Studio One for, I don't know, about, would I say a year? I don't think it's been a year just yet, but it's been months. I've recorded at least, I think, 6 songs in Studio One 5. Not Studio One 5, but in Studio One in general. And I've started using Studio One 5 and I recorded about 3 songs in this version of Studio One, but I'm still using the same features that I was using in Studio One 4. So this can be a good review for Studio One 4 if you wanted to grab that, because I think the new features in Studio One 5 is like the live playing stuff and stuff like that, which I personally don't use, so I've got no opinion on that. So this should help you in your opinion on whether you should get Studio One 4, Studio One 5, or Studio One in general, if it's a good piece of software for your workflow and for your music creation purposes. So as I said, definitely stick through to the end because I'm going to be sharing my experience and going a little bit deep into a bunch of different ways that I use Studio One and how you can use it and how it works. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Carter from jcarterray.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business, and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creators that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel because you will love it here, guaranteed. Now, my question of the day is, what are you thinking about using Studio One for? Are you using it for recording, mixing, and mastering like I do? Are you thinking of using it for production? Are you using it for live performance? Let me know in the comment section down below. I think that would be very, very interesting. So let's get into this, shall we? Now, if you've watched any of my previous reviews, then you know how I do this. I like to look at the product page, the sales page from the company. I like to scroll down it and see if they're talking the truth or whether it's just marketing spiel and it's a bunch of BS. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit different because Studio One has a variety of features that I personally don't use, so I'm going to be skipping past certain sections like the production section and all that sort of stuff. But all in all, it's still going to be like basically the same kind of format, and at the end I'll let you know if it's worth the price or not. Also, they do have a variety of different purchasing options, so we'll talk about that near the end as well. So Studio One 5, wherever sound takes you. Record, produce, mix, master, and perform all from a single intuitive application. I do feel that Studio One 5 is an intuitive application. I've got to agree with that. Honestly, like, the bad is it does crash a bit, like, but generally I can work with it pretty well. The crashes, like, it's crashed twice today, but I have been recording as well, doing video production, so that may have something to do with it. Other than that, if I'm not doing like high CPU projects and I'm not using like plugins that basically eat my CPU and murder my computer, then Studio One's pretty stable and it pretty much gets everything done. The start page provides you what you need to begin your creative process, including a dashboard with all your songs, projects, and shows. I do like the actual start page, to be honest. I don't think FL Studio has that as far as, nah, you gotta go to like most recent and then go into your files and all that sort of stuff. So that is a good feature that I honestly kind of glossed over and didn't even realize that was a feature. Let's actually bring up Studio One. Now, I do have an actual song built up here, but let's see if I can go to the start page. This is the start page. Okay, great. I can open up the start page and get back to my song, which is another great thing about Studio One. Like, the way it's set up, the workflow is very, very nice. You can quickly enter your songs, you can quickly enter your projects, which is for your mastering, and you can, as you can see, quickly get to your start page, and you can open multiple songs at the same time, although I wouldn't suggest it because that CPU hug, you're just opening yourself up to more crashes and that sort of stuff. But as you can see, I have used Studio One for, let's say, 5 months. 3 years ago, I did use Studio One to record episodes of my podcast, and then I switched to Adobe Audition. But let's say I've been using Studio One properly for about 5 months. And honestly, coming from FL Studio, it's way better. It's way better for vocal production and recording my songs. Way better, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. But this is the song page, or not the song page, this is the start page, and here you can see all your recent files. You can go to songs and see basically all the songs that you've ever created in Studio One. You can go to projects and see all the mastering projects that you've created in Studio One. You go to shows. I've never done anything with shows or anything like that, so I don't even know what that's about. And you can create an artist profile. You can, you know, set this all up, but basically I just go to my recent files. I go to new song. From here, generally when I'm doing a new project, I'll do that while I'm in the new song, and I've just created a project template at this point, so I'll just import all my songs to the same project template, save it as something else. But that's besides the point. I like the fact that you can just quickly see all your songs at a glance. You don't need to go into your folders and all that sort of stuff. And once I'm done here, I can quickly get back into my song like that. Like, that's just beautiful, and I don't find that ease of use with FL Studio, and that's pretty much the only other DAW that I'm using at the moment. So that's what I'll probably be comparing this with a lot in terms of, you know, the vocal production and the ease of use type of thing. So you can assemble and master your master piece in the project page. Projects and songs are linked, so you'll know the mix you're mastering is always up to date. That's nice. You can update your song and then that's automatically sent to a project. Sometimes there are some bugs with that, but when it's working, it works really, really well, and it's really, really nice. Then it's talking about the show features, which honestly, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Original drag and drop interface, I don't know about that either. I don't really add a lot of new effects. I've got my template that I pretty much use for every song. I'll leave a link down below so you can grab it, or go to jcotteray.com/vocal templates. And I'll also leave a link down below to Studio One as well, so you can grab that if you feel like it's worth it for you. But I just open up my template and get cracking. So all my plugins and effects that I use are already loaded up there, and I hardly ever add a new effect. Now I'm gonna try out some new effects because I recently got a style edit and I want to try that out on my vocals. But other than once in a while adding a new effect, everything's already there, so I don't really use this sort of stuff. Composition done right, I definitely don't use that sort of stuff. I'm not trying to do notations or anything like that. Produce without limits, I don't use the production stuff, but honestly, the production stuff in Studio One does look very interesting. If I didn't already like get to the point where I'm so comfortable with using FL Studio, I would really want to try out Studio One, because it's got a variety of different tools that can really help you with the creation process. Like, they've got this circular thing that kind of creates chord progressions and a bunch of stuff that I haven't really looked that deep into, but I saw it at a glance and I was like, that's really interesting. I'd like to try that out. But generally I don't use this in it. So they say they've got a scratch pad and a ranger track and all this sort of stuff that's honestly seems really, really interesting, and harmonic editing. I don't know, but it seems really, really cool. Analog mixing with digital ease. I haven't personally used a bunch of Studio One's built-in plugins and used, you know, this sort of effects that they've got with that, so I can't speak on that. Performing, I don't do that. Mastering, Studio One Professional is the only DAW that links songs and stems with finished mastered projects. That's cool. That's cool, that's cool. Transfer mixes or mix stems to the project page for mastering, but if you hear anything you need to change, simply jump back into the song and make your tweaks. The revised version updates with a single click, so you can continue mastering without losing any previous work. Honestly, this is one of the big selling points that got me using Studio One, because when I used to use FL Studio for mastering, I would have to go into FL Studio, export my song, create a new FL Studio project, import that in there, do the mastering. If anything sounded like I needed to change, I need to go into the previous project, which will take some loading, and then I need to, you know, get that where it needed to be, export that, go back into the new mastering session, check it out. If there's anything that needs to be changed, go back in and repeat that process. It's just long. With this, it's way better and way easier, because I can quickly switch between the song and the project. So let me show you an example of that. So let's see if we go, how do I do this again? Recent files, and the project for this is, let's go to the start page actually, since we can do that. Grey Mike Master. Okay, so the song that we're working on, the beat was called Grey Mike, so the master channel is also called Grey Mike. Because I didn't name the song before mastering it, because I like to do my song in draw. So if I do a verse, I might save that, master it a little bit, like not proper mastering, but basically put on the effects that I generally put on there and get that to where it needs to be. So with this, now I've got the master project up, I can actually go back to the song and edit anything that needs to be edited. Let's say I edited something, blah blah blah, I turned something down. Obviously I'd go to the mixer to do that. Let's say I turned something down and all that sort of stuff. Then, oh, I can't see, what is that? That's the top of the mixer. Okay. That kind of confused me a little bit. Then all I'd need to do is go to song, go to update mastering file, and then at that point it will update the file in the mastering project, and then I can go back to the project and actually everything will be updated, and I won't need to, you know, export and drag stuff in. Sometimes you do need to export and drag stuff in, and that's only if things aren't working properly and things are kind of bugging out, then you need to go that long way. But even that is still quicker than the FL Studio stuff, because I don't need to close down the song to open up the project. I can quickly change between them like this, which is a game changer. Okay, so how does that sound? Does that sound interesting to you? Does that sound like it's going to be useful? I hope it does. So this is pretty much all of it, and then they got this persona sphere thing that gives you a bunch of other stuff that comes with it. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I don't know really much about persona sphere. All I know is that this is a subscription thing, so you can get Studio One at a very low price per month if that's what you want to do, and you get a bunch of other stuff as well. So let's basically look at this song that I'm currently recording. Now, I like Studio One because it just makes it really easy to get stuff done. The shortcuts are really nice. The way to maneuver your song is really nice. Like, I can just roll the mouse wheel and this zooms in, zooms out, and I can move around pretty easily. If I want to bring my song all the way to the beginning, I can press the delete key on the number pad. If I want to start recording, I can press the star key on the number pad, and that will get us popping. I can also, like, the recording is just way better than FL Studio in my opinion. As you can see, I'm punching a lot of stuff in. You can see all these different layers that we've got, and we can select things from the different layers, which I first did this in Logic Pro X, and that worked really well over there. But FL Studio doesn't have the same kind of features over here, so that kind of limits things. You can easily fade in and fade out different tracks by, you know, just clicking in the top right hand corner. Let's play back a little bit of this song. I don't even know where we're at in the song, to be honest, but let's just play. Give you so many chances, yeah. You just stay the same. Gave you my heart, now I'm heartless, yeah. We apart in apartments, yeah. On my mind Okay, well, we could play the whole song and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think that's necessary right about now. If you want to hear the full song, it'll probably be out by the time this video is out. Go to Spotify, search for Change by J. Carter Ray, and you'll hear the full song. But the recording process with Studio One is really straightforward. I can record a bunch of takes, and when I get the right one, I just move on with that one. If I feel like maybe I got one a take before that was better, I can just select that take from earlier on. Honestly, I don't want to do any selecting right about that because it's kind of gonna mess up everything that's going on over here. Let's see if I can do something at the end. Oh, can I undo that? No, I can't undo that. That's annoying. But basically this just needs to be at the end of the track, so we'll put that right now. So yeah, I can do something with the ad-libs. Okay, here we've got multiple takes. Okay, there's like 3 takes for this particular set of ad-libs. So if I didn't like this one and I wanted this one, I could select that. Let's hear these ad-libs. And then if I prefer this one, I can select that. Really easy, really straightforward. Like, using this is a piece of cake. Once you start using it and you use it for a few songs, it just becomes second nature. Like, it didn't take me ages to get used to this, and it's just, it makes everything quicker, it makes everything smoother. I highly recommend Studio One for all your vocal recording needs. It has upgraded my ability to record drastically. Way better than using FL Studio. Seems like it's just gimped from the offset on trying to record and all that sort of stuff. It's just not made for that. But this, it's pretty much does the job that needs to be done, and everything can be done very well. Generally, I'll just record the layers, I'll get everything that needs to be done, I'll record my ad-lib layer, I'll record the other layers for like the chorus and stuff, and then, you know, after that, once I've done all that, I'll import my stems. As you can see, this is just the beat right about now. I haven't imported the stems of the beat, but I'll generally import the stems when all this stuff is done. I'm getting to the mixing stage, then I'll mix it down, and then I can go to the song, update mastering file, go to the project, and here we can also zoom in and do all that sort of stuff, and we can actually listen to the song in its mastered state. Now, honestly, I do need to, I'm not sure if I updated my mastering template. Let me quickly see if I did. Let's go to recent files, mastering template, to add Ozone 9. No, I did not. So I need to update this mastering template. I'm going to add that to my to-do list to basically use Ozone 9, because that's what I now use instead of Ozone 8. It just makes things a little bit louder, and it's, you know, it's better. It's the more advanced version. It's got a bunch of different modules and stuff. But here is the mastering project, and here I can listen back and hear what things will sound like with my mastering effects. So let's play. Let's go to the beginning. So I can hear anything that maybe sounds wrong, sounds like it shouldn't be there, and then I can quickly go back to the song, change that thing, go to update song, update mastering file, and then go back to the project and listen back to where the change was and hear that almost immediately. Now, it does take like a minute to get everything updated and whatnot, but the workflow is way better than exporting everything out and dragging it in and doing all that sort of long stuff. So this is actually beautiful stuff, and that's basically how I use Studio One. I've got my templates that I create. I go in to create a song, I record while songwriting at the same time. That's basically how I do it these days. I just freestyle stuff. Whatever works I keep, whatever doesn't work I get rid of. Then once I've got the full recording, I'll mix it properly, or I'll add ad-libs, I'll do the layers and all that sort of stuff. then I'll bring in the stems, I'll mix it, then I'll bring it into the mastering track for the final master, and then I'll master it, and then I go to, I think it's digital release. Yeah, I'll go to digital release and I'll bounce everything out, and then I'll upload it. Bob's your uncle, we're done. That's another song in the catalog. Very, very straightforward, very, very easy to set up everything so that it's working perfectly, and the workflow is absolutely beautiful. I can't recommend Studio One enough. But honestly, I don't know what differences I'm getting from Studio One 5 compared to Studio One 4, because I use it in pretty much the exact same way right now. Maybe in another 6 months, I'll find out the new different nuances, and I'll, you know, be able to give some more insight into those changes. So I can't say go get Studio One 5. You need Studio One 5. You might do very well in Studio One 4 professional version. You might be able to get the same bang for your buck here. Unless you are producing and doing all that sort of stuff, then there are probably some updates that you'll get that will help you in Studio One 5 compared to Studio One 4. Okay, so does that help you out? I hope it does. I hope it does. So let's get into the pricing structure. Okay, so this is Studio One 5 Professional. If you're gonna get on the monthly membership, if you get this monthly membership, you can spend £11.62 per month, which is ridiculous. Like, that's really, really, really cheap to get Studio One 5, and you get a collection of other softwares which I have no idea about, and you get cloud storage, which is always great to back up all your songs. However, if you just want to buy this outright, which honestly I always suggest you buy the stuff, yeah, buy plugins when you can. If you want to just buy it outright, then let's go to buy now over here, and you can see the different versions of Studio One 5. Now you can get Studio One 5 Artist, which is £85.20, which is basically the lowest tier version, which gives you the ability to record, produce, and mix. It doesn't give you that great workflow for mastering, which you can still master inside the program if all you can do is create songs, because all you need to do is just add your mastering effects to the master channel. But having that ability to take everything to a new track and to be able to update it simultaneously and just have everything done like that is really, really beautiful stuff. And it honestly is worth the extra, what's that, 200 and something pounds that you'll spend in order to get the full version, because you're just going to save so much time, like with those little edits and that sort of stuff. So if you're going to get, I suggest you get professional version as soon as possible. Of course, you can start with Studio 5 Artist and then upgrade to professional version, which may save you some money as well. Now you can get Studio One 5 Prime for absolutely free. I haven't used that. I don't know what you're gonna get in that. Let's actually go to this page, because that's kind of interesting. You can record, produce, and mix easily. So what are they stripping out in Studio One Prime? They're giving you 2 gigabytes of loop and musical content. Studio One Prime gives you everything you need to get started. It's designed, I don't know what you're not getting in this that you get in the artist version. I suggest you just try it out, basically. I believe this Studio One 5 Professional upgrade is from, if you're getting an upgrade from Studio One 4, Studio One 3, or any other Studio One. So that's obviously cheaper than buying the full thing outright. So if you already got Studio One in the past, you can upgrade. But if it's working for you now and you don't need any of the new features, I would say wait a little bit for everything to be more stable and everything to basically just, you know, for you to really need it. If you don't need the upgrade, it doesn't really make sense for you to purchase it right now. But if you're producing and all that sort of stuff in Studio One 5, then the new features will probably be very, very nice for you. Now you can also get a discount on Studio One 5 from another DAW. So if you're using a completely different DAW, you can apply for a cross grade. So if you're using Cubase, Pro Tools, Logic Pro 9. I'm only gonna talk about the ones that I know of. FL Studio, Reaper, Reason. If you're using any of these, you can get a cross-grade discount. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you're using a different DAW and you want to get Studio 1.5, you want to move over to Studio 1.5, they're willing to give you a discount for wanting to move over, which is a great thing, to be honest. That's really nice. That's actually really nice. I don't know if other DAWs do that. We've already talked about the artist version, and if you have an educational institution, then you can get an educational license. If you're upgrading specifically from the artist version, then that's going to cost you £258. £344 is a bit pricey, to be honest, for a DAW. Yeah, but for the time that you're going to save and for what you can do in Studio One, is it worth it? Yes, it's definitely worth it. Music, software, and just creating music in general is not a cheap business. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap, especially if you want to save as much time as possible. And I believe in Studio One, especially because of, you know, the ease of use, moving from project to song. Look how quick I'm doing this. Yeah, that will take me upwards of 3 minutes in any other DAW, as far as I know. I don't know any other DAW that allows you to do that so quickly, like to move from a mixing session to a mastering session, which is very important if you want to make songs on a consistent basis and you want your workflow to be as speedy as possible. So the money that you're spending here is going to come back tenfold in the time that you're going to be saving. So I do think that it's worth the price. But if you do not want to spend all this money at once, but you do want to try out Studio 1.5 Professional, then you can always subscribe to the monthly membership. And what you can do there is you can subscribe to the monthly membership, test out Studio One, see if it's something that you like the professional version, see if it's what you like. And if you do like it, then you can purchase the full version. And if you don't want to do that and you just want the cheapest version of Studio One, you can get Studio 1.5 Prime, get that. See if you like that. If you do like that, then you can upgrade to the artist version, see if you like that. If you like that, then you can think about upgrading to the professional version when you need to. All beautiful stuff there, and that's the pricing system. Is it worth the price? Yes. Okay, now if you want to grab Studio One, I will leave a link down below, or you can go to jcarteray.com/Studio 1.5. Now I also have a template that you can grab with Studio One that is my Spotify ready vocal mixing template, and this will have your vocals sounding Spotify ready and sounding ready for release before you even get to the mixing stage. I use this for every song that I make, and it's honestly well worth it. I highly suggest you grab this, and it's going to save you a bunch of time and have your vocals sounding way better. It also comes with a PDF that basically walks you through all the settings that I use in all the different plugins, so you can apply these settings to the plugins that you want to use if you don't want to get the same plugins that I use. But honestly, I suggest you get the same plugins that I use because they are great plugins and they're going to help make your vocals sound even better. So go ahead, grab this template. Link is in the description down below, or go to jcarteray.com/vocal templates. And that's my review of Studio One. It's absolutely amazing for recording songs. I love it for recording songs. I think it's a great DAW, and I use it all the time with every song that I want to create, and it just makes the process really easy. So I can highly suggest it with a smile on my face, and I don't have to worry about your experience with Studio One. I think it's definitely one of the best DAWs out here, and it's really underrated. A lot of people don't talk about Studio One, but I think it's really good, and they do listen to the community if you want to offer suggestions and whatnot. They do actually bring those into Studio One, and honestly, it's a great platform. Okay, so I hope this helped you out. Let me know if it did in the comment section down below. But if you got any other questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please let me know in the comment section down below as well. And in the next video, you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.